In this video, we'll look into frequency distribution. Frequency distribution is a table that divides the data values into classes and shows the number of observed values that fall into each class. By converting data to a frequency distribution, we gain a perspective that helps us see the forest instead of the individual trees, usually referred as simple tabulation for quantitative data. Since for quantitative data we don't usually have categories but rather just variables, it will be difficult for us to do simple tabulation or even cross tabulation. That's why we have frequency distribution. We will sort the data into classes so that we can properly group them and see the trend, the pattern that will emerge. So let us see how we can construct a frequency distribution table in Microsoft Excel. To construct a frequency distribution using Microsoft Excel, we first go to Insert, and we will use the pivot table function. So, the pivot table function will let us organize our data in whatever way we want. Now that we have this dialog box, let's first select the data that we will have. We click this button, and we select our data. Then, we will now choose where we want the pivot table to be placed. I want the pivot table to be placed in our existing worksheet, so I will just click this and select this cell. So it will be near our visual description. So I will click this again, and if everything is okay, click OK. So, as you can see, I included the label so that it will be the one that is shown here in the pivot table fields. So, first we shall now drag this into rows. As you can see, the row labels here are the unique values in our dataset, but we would need to group them into groups called classes. To do so, let us right-click any number here, and we select Group. Now, in this dialog box, Excel will recommend where to start and where to end. However, it is based on the context of your research or of your data of how you're going to group them. In this case, I'm going to start at 1 and end at 30, and I'm going to group them by 5. So if everything is done, we click OK. So we have now our classes: 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20, and 26 to 30. If you notice, there is no 21 to 25, as it has detected that there's no 21 to 25 values in our dataset. And now that we have our classes, let us look now at our counts or frequencies. Let us drag this again to the values, and you see there that it says count of shot of time, so we don't need to change this one. In the event that this is not count, we shall click this, go to value field settings, and select count. Now that we have this, we can rename this as frequency. And there you go. So we have now our basic frequency distribution table. So what big picture can this basic frequency distribution table give us? First, it can tell us how many data or data values are in each class. So as you can see here, the data values for the first 3 classes are more than the last 2 classes, which means we have smaller data values because they are more clustered in the classes where you have smaller values. Another one is that, like what we've mentioned a while ago, there is no 21 to 25 class because the Excel has already detected that there are no data values between 21 to 25 in our dataset. But classes and frequency are not the only ones that we include in our frequency distribution table. We also have what we call the relative frequency. And we also have what we call the percent frequency. The relative frequency and the percent frequency will give us an even more detailed picture of our dataset. To compute for the relative frequency, we have the following. We click equal sign, then we select the cell of the first frequency, which is 9. Please do not click it like this because it will give us something different. Rather, type the cell name of this one, which is G3. G3. We divide it by the grand total, which is 25. So you may type in 25, or you may type in the cell name of this one, which is G8. However, if you're going to type the name of the cell, you have to press F4. Why is that? If I do not press F4, I will type it here first. I will have G3 divided by G8, and I will not press F4. If I drag this down, what happens is this formula becomes the next cell here, and this is also the next cell here, but there's no number here, and we do not want that. Instead, what we want is we will just copy the formula for all of this, retaining this one, and that's what the F4 will do. And then, to get now the percent frequency, we shall just multiply the relative frequency by 100. So what does the relative frequency and the percent frequency tell us? It tells us the part of that specific class in relation to the entire dataset. As you can see here, classes 1 to 5 and classes 6 to 10 have 36% each of the entire dataset. And that will give us another meaning depending on the context of our data. What was shown earlier, we have the class, frequency, relative frequency, and percent frequency. Those are the only ones shown in Microsoft Excel. However, as you can see here, we still have a lot more that we can actually include in our frequency distribution table. However, in most cases, we only include the class, frequency, relative frequency, and percent frequency, as these are usually enough to tell the story of our dataset.